In this practical session, we will look at how fake card images can be reviewed during payment risk analysis. The goal is not to treat every unusual detail as final proof of fraud. The goal is to understand which visual signs should trigger deeper manual review. As you watch the examples, remember one thing. A card image should be assessed together with customer profile, transaction behavior, geography, payment history, and other fraud signals. Automated checks are useful, but they may miss visual inconsistencies in card images. Look at the logic on this slide. Automated checks detect part of the risk, manual review catches document-level signals, and risk context shows whether escalation is needed. A suspicious card image is not final proof of fraud. It is an early signal for deeper review. Let's start with the front side of the first card. Look first at the embossed numbers. The font looks atypical and does not match the quality normally expected from an issued payment card. Now look below the first 6 digits. The expected BIN-related printed detail is missing. Also notice the small layout issues across the card. One sign alone is not enough, but together these details justify deeper manual review. Now compare the back side with the front side. Counterfeit cards may look acceptable on one side, but fail when both sides are checked together. Pay attention to the expiry date placement on the back. It does not match the front side layout well. Then look at the assistance text. The extra word makes the text look poorly reproduced. This is the kind of detail manual review is designed to catch. This case starts with the front side of the card. Look at the visible branding. The card presents itself as a MasterCard card. At this stage, we do not make the final conclusion yet. We simply register what the front side is telling us. On the next slide, we will compare this with the back side, especially the signature panel. If the back side shows branding that does not match the front, this becomes a strong payment scheme mismatch and a clear reason for deeper manual review. Now look at the back side of this card. Pay attention to the symbols and the text quality. The symbols look poorly rendered, and the text does not look like standard issuer wording. In the lower left text block, there's a phrase that sounds more like website terms than card information. This is a useful warning sign. Fake cards often imitate the structure of real cards, but the text details are weak. Now look at the front side of the third card. At first glance, it appears to be a MasterCard card. But above the MasterCard logo, there is a Visa-style dove hologram. This already creates a serious payment scheme inconsistency. At this stage, we do not need to make the final conclusion yet. We simply register the first visible conflict. On the next part of the review, the backside details will show whether this mismatch is isolated or part of a wider fake card pattern. Now review the backside. The issuer-related text contains several problems. First, the wording mentions Israel Credit Bank and Barclays Bank in the same text, which already creates confusion. Then look at the typo. Israel is written incorrectly. Also, the first 6 digits indicate ISRACARDLTD as the issuer, but the printed text mentions Barclays Bank. These references do not align, and that is a strong review signal. These examples show one important point. Fake card review is based on patterns, not one isolated detail. Typography issues, payment scheme mismatches, issuer inconsistencies, BIN-related problems, and poor backside text all matter. The strongest signal appears when several small inconsistencies point in the same direction. When an analyst sees suspicious visual signs, the case should follow a structured review path. First, document the signs. Then compare the card details with customer data. Review transaction behavior, geography, and similar cases. If several signals appear together, escalate the case. The goal is not to reject every unusual card image, but to identify meaningful fraud signals. The final takeaway is simple. Fake card detection is not only about spotting a bad image, it is about connecting visual inconsistencies with transaction behavior, customer profile, issuer data, and fraud patterns. This is how manual review supports stronger fraud prevention, better merchant risk review, and more reliable payment risk controls.